Alright guys, first video lesson for semester 2. Remember guys, a lot of this you're copying down, so just pause to copy when you need to. Let's get started. The beginning of your new table of contents. We're going to be doing 2 pages today. We're going to do pages 5 and 7. Alright, so go ahead and pause and get this down. Okay, now that you've copied it down, let's talk about what we have going on here. With absolute values, what you want to do is you want to make sure that this little guy right here, whatever's in the absolute value, is all by itself. And as you can see, the only thing on the left side is the x minus 2 in the bars. Once you've got that, you're going to make 2 inequalities. You're going to write it down just the way it is, drop the bars. And then you're going to make a second one, but you need to flip that inequality. Instead of it pointing to the right, now it's pointing to the left. And you got to change that sign from a positive to a negative. So that 5 becomes a negative 5. Now you just solve it and you're going to get 2 inequalities. Now you're told on the first one here that x is greater than 7. Well, with greater than we use open circles. And greater than 7's to the right because the numbers get bigger to the right. And then on this guy, it says x is less than negative 3. So you go to negative 3, do an open circle, and draw it to the left. That's how you do a number line. Less than's to the left, greater than to the right. So I got a more complex one here at the bottom. And what you'll notice is I first had to add 1 to both sides. And then this 3, which is multiplying to the x plus 1, remember you are not allowed to distribute in. You've got to divide it away. So I divided that 3 away. And now we are left with just an absolute value, which is less than or equal to 5. This allows me to come over here and make my 2 problems. And you can see here on the second problem, this right here turned into a greater than symbol. And then right here, that switched to a negative 5. Solve both equations. Now, you can't see it on my paper. It's underneath the thing. But this right here, that should not be highlighted. Hold on. Pen. This is the negative 6, and this is the positive 4. So since these had the equal to bars underneath, I get closed in circles. So notice how the circles on the 4 and negative 6 are colored in. Now, it says that I need to be less than the 4, and this one says I need to be greater than the negative 6. Well, these are all the numbers in between. You have to be smaller than 4 and bigger than negative 6. And what we do is we always should be testing a point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a number in between negative 6 and 4. How about 1? So I'm going to choose the number 1 for x. I'm going to pick a different color over there. How about yellow? And I'm going to plug 1 into the original problem, and it should work. So it's going to be 3 absolute value, 1 plus 1, minus 1, less than or equal to 14. So let's see what we get over here. This becomes 2 minus 1. Absolute value of 2 is 2, so this becomes 3 times 2. That becomes 6 minus 1, and that's 5. And that is true. 5 is definitely less than or equal to 14. So we know we picked the right area. So you should always test where you're shading. Pick an answer in it and see if it works. So you notice we got one variable here. There's just x's. So we were trying to solve for x. Okay, now what about graphing 2 lines? All right, so here's what's going to go on with this. We have to pay attention to a couple different things here. When you graph inequalities, you're going to use a dashed boundary line anytime you don't have a greater than or an equal piece on it. So that's just less than or greater than. And we're going to use a solid line when it is equal because it means it includes the line. So on this first one, I've got a slope of 1/2 and a y-intercept of 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Have a slope of up 1 to the right 2, up 1, right 2, up 1, right 2, up 1, right 2. And this one is a dashed line because it's just less than or equal to. So it looks something like this. This one's got a slope of a positive 2 and a y-intercept of a negative 2. So it starts down here at negative 2, and it's going to go up 2, right 1, up 2, right 1, up 2, right 1, up 2, right 1, up 2, right 1. And this one is a solid line. And anytime two lines cross, you're going to get 4 different little areas. So now I want to show you some shading here. The dashed line, it says that my y's are less than. So what I'm going to do is use a highlighter. And less than, oh, that's not the color I wanted. Less than this is everything like this. This is all less than that first line, the dashed one. And then we are told we are greater than the solid line. Let's use green. No, different color because I already got green up there. How about blue? Greater than is above it. So that's all this. The question is, where did they both have the same answers? Because we're looking for all the points that are less than that top line and greater than that green line. And where they are all shared is here in the middle, like this. So this region I'm making orange. That's where it's all shared. Oh, that's kind of cool that it did that. So those are my solutions, are all those points. So what I'm going to do is over here in yellow, is I'm going to pick a point that's inside here. So how about and it should work for both of them. Well, the origin is inside. So I'm going to pick the origin, the point 0, 0. And it should be true for both of them. So let's try it. 0 is less than or equal to 1/2 times 0 plus 4. So 0 is less than or equal to 4. Well, that's true. That worked. So it worked for the first inequality. Let's try the second one. 0 is greater than or equal to 2 times 0 minus 2. 0 should be bigger than negative 2. Well, that's also true. So we know we colored in the correct area. If the point works for both, that area is the correct one. All right, guys, that's just a quick applied piece here to get you some little notes on this. Make sure you're in Zoom because there is a lot more being covered in Zoom, more detail and some different pieces. Oh yeah, I already did the testing of the point. I did it over here just a little while ago. So that's what we just did. And make sure you do it in both inequalities. All right, here goes an assignment. It's here for you, 3 of them. All right, you guys take care and have a good one.